We make it to week 15 of the NFL season, and we welcome back one of our co-hosts. Welcome
What's
back,
happening,
Daniel.
Bryce? Oh, wait, me. Hey.
Oh, yeah, the tree made an appearance last week. Don't forget about that.
I thought we were going with the tree.
I thought we were talking about you. You were here last week?
Yeah, were you here last week?
Maybe it's Billy. Is this your week back?
This is
Welcome
Billy.
back, Daniel Snyder.
Oh.
It's good to see you, buddy.
We have the
Your
Redskins owner here.
49ers.
Yes.
Your 49ers have looked halfway decent since you've been gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've lost a couple, won a couple.
Just a few.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this week's games, and let's start with the Thursday night game against Chargers and Broncos. Wes Welker's out of this game.
Yeah.
And
Which means Decker's going to be the fifth, by the way.
here we go.
Yeah, right.
Welcome back, Daniel. He's got stats for us.
Denver is the first team in NFL history with at least 4 players with at least 10 touchdowns. First team ever. Decker gets 2. That's odd. Awkward. Decker gets 2 touchdowns. Right now he has 8. He'll be number 5.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I'm impressed by that.
Good stat. Good stat.
45 touchdowns is what Peyton Manning has right now.
That's pretty
He
good.
might break Brady's record.
You think?
Maybe.
By
Maybe.
1 or 2?
By next week?
By what? Yeah, by next week. Maybe this week.
Nah, not against San Diego.
I'm going to take Denver at home. I think that Denver's going to continue to roll even without Wes Welker. Like you said, I think Decker gets a couple more targets considering Welker's out, and I think that Denver rolls.
Yeah, Denver. Go ahead, my bad.
I was going to say Denver has more than enough firepower to make up. Wes Welker's obviously a big loss. He's a very talented wide receiver, but with Demaryius Thomas
and Decker
and
all them other guys.
Monty Ball's
Julius
coming to
Thomas.
his own. Yeah, they have definitely enough weapons.
With this win, they will, and at Kansas City lost, they clinched the division.
And it's going to be a high-scoring game. You got the number 1 pass offense versus the number 4 pass offense, so you're going to see a lot of passing touchdowns. Yes.
When you're also talking about Denver's defense is number 29th in the league against the pass.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the Sunday games. Falcons at Redskins. And Kirk Cousins is starting for the Redskins. They have benched RGIII for the rest of the year out of just pure, we need to save his health.
Quick question,
okay?
Who or what team did Kirk Cousins debut, his NFL debut? Who was it against?
The Falcons.
Yes, that it was. After a concussion.
And he played phenomenal. Brought them back he played phenomenal in the game.
5 for 9.
Almost brought them back and almost beat us.
5 for 9, 111 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. I wouldn't call that phenomenal. He did decent.
He almost beat us. Straight up. I
If
watched
my
the
wife
game.
almost beats me, I get upset because she did it. Almost doesn't count.
Why did your wife beat you?
That being said, I think Kirk Cousins actually is going to have a full week of practice under his belt. Welcome back. Good God. I think Kirk Cousins gets a full week under his belt. I think Kirk Cousins and the Washington Redskins come into the Dome and beat the Falcons.
No. Falcons will win this game.
I'm agreeing with Daniel. I think the Falcons have more firepower. Kirk Cousins will look good in this game.
He hasn't played all year, really.
Yeah, but I mean, neither has RG3 really.
Yeah, you're right.
Mean, I think Matty Ice has enough weapons on the offense.
Oh, there's no change to my feelings about the offense, but I'm just thinking Kirk Cousins is going to put up more firepower.
No.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Falcons at home on this one.
I agree.
Chicago at Cleveland. McCown, guys, has looked phenomenal in Chicago.
It's dumb. Cutler will not be back next year. Why start him? Finish out with McCown.
I agree. McCown was fantastic.
He's winning.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw a really random stat this week that said that the quarterback, and it just drew a blank for me, the quarterback for Cleveland has thrown for over 1,000 yards and has more touchdowns than for the first time since Bernie Kosar in Cleveland.
Wow.
Which, yeah.
He's putting up better stats than Cutler was before he got hurt. It's crazy.
No, I'm talking...
He's talking about...
Jason Campbell. Jason Campbell.
Yeah. I was talking about McCown, though. My bad.
Yes, McCown has put up phenomenal numbers as I posted on the site last night. And, I mean, I've talked to a Chicago fan last night on Facebook. They're alive, I promise. And they're saying...
I heard from a bunch of the Chicago fans on Monday night.
I bet you did. Good game, no?
But I'm really thinking that they're thinking that Cutler will come back, but I said with McCown playing like he is, why waste it?
Why?
Yeah, I agree. Who you got in this game?
Chicago.
Yes.
I'm going to go Cleveland home.
Of course you would.
I think McCown has a letdown game eventually.
No, Cutler starts, and I think
You
Cutler
think?
will
You
throw.
think Cutler's going to start?
Yes, he
No.
will start, and he will throw the game. It'll mess up, and then McCown will come in afterwards.
Well, yeah, we'll see. I think Cleveland's
Cutler's not
defense. I think Cleveland's
Are you
defense.
sure of this?
Cutler's not playing.
How you know this for a fact?
Just trust me.
Okay.
I think Cleveland's defense does enough to stop whoever it is starts McCown or
This
Cutler.
next game.
Texans at the Colts. I'm going to take Colts at home because I think that Houston does not have enough to get by Indianapolis.
Question: how bad is the division you're in when, after Week 14 loss, you clinch your division? How bad is that? The Colts are 3-3 over the last
That means
6
that you've
games.
had a phenomenal first half of the season.
No, they're 8-4. I
I
think
said phenomenal
Or
first half
9.
of the season.
they lost 2 games in the first half.
Okay.
No, they're
6-2? That's not bad.
I guess, but like I said,
It's better than
The
both-
last-
It's
the-
better than both Dallas and Atlanta.
yeah. The Colts are 3-3 in their last 6 games, losing to one playoff team, Cincinnati. They lost to one team that's still in the hunt, Arizona,
Yep.
and one team that don't even care, St. Louis.
St. Louis.
And
Yep.
and St. Louis raped them.
Yep.
They beat
Yep.
while beating Tennessee twice and Houston once. So
I mean-
the 3 teams that they beat are garbage.
And if you look at their 5 losses, they came from Miami, who's been in and out of turmoil all year. They lost to the Chargers, who that's kind of a gimmick team,
Yeah.
in my opinion. Kind
yeah,
of a
you
gimmick
don't know
team.
what you're getting with them.
Exactly. One legit playoff contender, Cincinnati. They'll probably win their division, and make the playoffs. Arizona, fantastic defense, probably make the playoffs, and then St. Louis. So 3 of their 2 losses have came against teams that's not even going to make the playoffs. And I think the big fall for the Colts is, I said it last week, Andrew Luck lost his security blanket when Reggie Wayne went out.
And that's sad.
Yeah, and I think that's a huge loss for Andrew Luck because that team was doing well until they lost that security blanket for Andrew Luck. And I think that's really what's going to hinder them. I see them winning this game, but I do not see them winning in
Yeah,
the
they'll
first.
win. They'll win.
Yeah, they'll win
But
this game.
they'll lose the first round of
I
the
agree.
playoffs.
I agree.
Unless they go
Unless
back,
they go against the Ravens, they'll beat the Ravens.
Yeah.
unless they go back to the way that they were playing at the beginning of the season. Now that they have Donald
With
Brown,
Reggie Wayne.
now that they have Donald Brown in the backfield, that they have a lot of confidence in their running game, they've decided to go, okay, we need to shrink this back down to more of a equal offense, and that's what I think is hindering them because it was running so much proficiently with just a passing offense that they had, and occasionally throwing in a run.
How big of a bust has Richardson been?
Well, that's debatable.
He did come from Alabama.
Patriots at the
Boom, Alabama
Dolphins.
fans.
Patriots are playing really good football. Continue to play really good football.
Even though Gronks is down, they still
Gronk
win.
is out for the
Yeah.
season. The Dolphins had a really good win against Pittsburgh this past weekend in the snow, which I think everyone was in the snow this past weekend.
Yeah, it seemed like it.
With the win, New England clinches the East.
I think they're going to win anyway.
Yeah.
It's. I think Miami actually may have a chance. They've got 3 weeks left, and I think they may have a chance to sneak into that last wild card spot and maybe make a little bit of noise because they've played
The AFC is just such a toss-up.
solid against certain teams during the year.
Mhm.
So let's. Bryce is pulling up their schedule right now.
So y'all both going New England?
I'm going to New England.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate. I'm gonna go with Miami. We saw what Peyton Manning, pardon me. We saw what Tom Brady looked
How
like.
dare you put the name in the same?
Pardon me.
Oh,
Hey, Brady was pretty good without. He was 5-1 without Rob.
Yeah, but we saw how he was earlier in the season without Rob Gronkowski.
But now he's actually grown a relationship with these wide receivers. He's going to be okay
while
without
Rob Gronkowski has been in the lineup.
him. They're going to be okay without him.
Tom Brady goes back to how he played
Tom
earlier this season.
Brady.
Who was missing, not miscommunication, not
What about
wide
Aaron
receiver.
Hernandez? He can't
What
throw it
about-
to him? Somebody.
Uh,
That's right. My bad. The cornerbacks keep him locked up. Get it?
I'm going
Alright.
with Miami home on this
I'm
one.
taking New England.
Eagles at Vikings. I think Eagles running away with this game. Adrian Peterson is out for the Vikings. I
He's
really
trying.
think
He
the
wants
Eagles
to play,
win.
but they
He's
should
not gonna
sit
play.
him. They should
Yeah.
sit him.
I'm going to go with the Eagles as well. Nick Foles is actually threw an interception last week.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
He showed he was human. But
McCoy is a beast.
But
yeah.
to be fair, those conditions sucked.
what was it, like 75 and sun?
No, I don't think so. I think you had
Full
about
snow.
a foot of snow on the ground.
I'm going to go with the Eagles on the road on this one.
Matt Stafford couldn't hold on to. Oh yeah, he was. Matt Stafford couldn't hold on to the ball with his little hands.
Wow.
He has little hands.
Seahawks at
Yeah,
the
big
Giants. The Seahawks continue to play really good football, even though they lost to San Francisco this past
That
weekend.
was a good
They
game.
played. That was a really good game this past weekend. Giants suck, guys. As much as they tried to fight their way back into it, they suck.
If
I'm
San
gonna-
Francisco and New Orleans lose and they win, they clinch that first spot.
I'm going to go against Bryce's idea of West Coast. He won't ever take a West Coast team going to the East Coast. I'm taking Seattle on the road here.
Well, you've got the worst quarterback, interception-wise, 20 of them for the year, going against the second best defense when it comes to interception with Yeah, so there's going to be a lot of interceptions thrown by Russell Wilson.
By the way, he's not the worst anymore. It's tied for the worst.
Who else has
Matt
20
Ryan?
of them?
Believe it was EJ Manuel.
Matt Ryan?
He's got 20 interceptions.
Or, excuse me, no, Geno Smith.
All right.
I don't think he's thrown for 20 interceptions.
There's somebody that's
I'm going to go
Either
with
way,
the
he's still
Seattle
worse.
Seahawks on the road.
I'm going with the Giants.
You're going
Whoa!
with the Giants at home?
Yes.
All right.
Speaking of
Only 'cause
another
I'm
West
really
Coast team, speaking of another West Coast team, 49ers at Buccaneers. I'm taking 49ers to win on the road against Tampa Bay. Sorry, Matt and Jeremy. It's just facts.
Hey, we clinch a playoff spot with the Arizona loss and a Dallas loss or win. I mean, Dallas loss or tie. I need y'all
Does it
to
matter?
lose. Yeah, we
Do-
need to make the playoffs.
I think you're going to make the playoffs and win.
You've got Detroit.
You're gonna
Chicago,
make the playoffs and
Green
win.
Bay.
Moving forward, you'll make the
Oh,
playoffs.
we'll win this game. I agree.
I'm going to go with the Buccaneers at home on this one. I think Mike Glennon, Buccaneers, Greg Schiano, they have this team
This guy over here.
headed in the right direction, and I am not a fan of, like you said, West Coast to East Coast traveling. The only reason I picked the Seahawks is just because the New York Giants are a train wreck of a team.
Seahawks are favored by 7.
You know,
What about San Francisco? What are they favored by?
I'm going to go with the Buccaneers on this one. I'm going to go with the Buccaneers at home.
Bills at Jaguars.
They both still have teams?
Yes.
You know, Jaguars played
both
some
still
pretty
have
decent
teams.
football
They're
as
trying-
of late.
Yeah,
Yes.
they're trying to win their 4th straight game for the first time since 07.
Yep. They're 4-1 in the past 5 games. I think they're going to go 5-1. They're at home. They're playing a hapless Bills team.
If the Bills lose, it would give them the 5th straight 10 or more loss season. Loss in the season.
They're the Pittsburgh
There goes
Pirates.
me and my losing losses mixing up.
They're the Pittsburgh Pirates of the NFL.
Wow!
Why are you saying that about the Pirates?
Just remember, see, he's talking crap about the sponge candy, or about Bills now that he's got the sponge candy.
When I run out, I'll love the Bills.
I'm confused.
The Chiefs at the Raiders this weekend. The Chiefs are going to continue to vie for that playoff position.
They've
They're
all
going to be
locked it.
they're going to be a wild card straight up
Oh, yeah,
because they're
absolutely.
not going to win the West.
Is McGroin starting again this week?
McGloin will be
Yes,
starting.
yeah,
again.
he is.
Matt McGloin.
They said they're gonna throw Pryor in there every now and then too. This is gonna be. That's what it said.
Chiefs win.
Chiefs win. Yeah.
What?
Chiefs
You don't
on
think
the
the
road.
Chiefs can go to Oakland and win? I do
Yep.
too. I agree.
Jets at the Panthers. Panthers coming off a disappointing loss to New Orleans, even though it was in the dome in New Orleans,
Yeah.
which Bryce and I called.
Who didn't see that coming?
But I think they bounced back this week, beat the crap out of the ever-loving Jets.
100% agree.
They're a run first, pass second team. If they don't get the lead, they can't catch. They can't catch you. That's what Carolina
Don't
is.
look now. Carolina is actually really close to just locking up another playoff spot, and
Yeah.
that'd be phenomenal.
Can you believe these are your 2 playoff teams right now in the NFC? You ready? 49ers and the Panthers.
Wow.
Those are 2 really good football teams, and
The
they're
wild
right
card.
now on the wild card.
Yeah.
Those are 2 really. I mean, those are 2 teams.
And they're
you
looking
look
to
at.
either go to Philadelphia and Dallas or
I mean-
Philadelphia and Detroit.
I mean,
my
if you
bad.
look at those 2 teams, I could see either one of those 2 teams catching fire at the end of the
Oh,
season and making a
absolutely.
playoff run. I mean, both are very complete teams. They're
Panthers play
playing
the
very well
Falcons
right
in
now.
the last game of the season.
That's
Just
right.
saying.
I need y'all to beat them.
Packers at the Cowboys. It's still looking like it's still looking like Rodgers will not play.
He practiced with the first team squad this whole week.
He did this whole week. You mean today?
What is today?
Wednesday.
Yeah, he practiced with them today.
He did practice with them today, but I really don't think that I think he's still doubtful to play on Sunday.
He'll play.
I'm going to take Cowboys at home because I really don't think the Packers are just awful.
Tony
guys.
Romo's playing
right now
in
without Aaron
December.
Rodgers. The Packers are awful.
Tony Romo's playing in December. He does not win in December.
Fair enough.
Tony Romo's defense are defense
Doesn't play in
Sucks.
December.
is statistically the worst defense the Dallas Cowboys have ever had in the history of
It's
our
'cause that
franchise.
smart-
And you're really close. If you average 498 yards the last 3 games, you'll have more, worse than the Saints did last year.
I
which set
wouldn't
a
be
record.
surprised. I mean, after watching the Chicago Bears score on 8 of their 8 drives on Monday, I wouldn't be surprised if we average that. I mean, our defense is atrocious. We get no pass rush. Our secondary is out of position all the time, and our linebackers get hurt every other play.
But even against the Packers, though, the Packers will give you a pass rush. Just saying.
Yeah, Dallas wins because the Packers are going to run the ball, and we're actually decent at run defense. It's just
Nah,
pass
Green Bay
defense
wins
that we
this
get
game.
torched.
Green Bay crushes your playoff hopes even more.
We win this game, and then we lose the final 2 to the Eagles and the Redskins.
No, you'll beat the
we
Redskins.
won't.
Cardinals at the Titans. We can talk about that in the following weeks to come.
Cardinals at the Titans.
Cardinals at the Titans.
I'm talking about where the hell I want to talk about.
Cardinals still trying to get that playoff spot. With if Carolina stumbles over these last 3 games, they will get
Which
that.
they
other
won't.
one. They'll probably lose to New Orleans.
At home?
Yes, that's still the same New Orleans team.
I agree with you.
It's
It's the same New Orleans team, but they're not
That's
in the
Seattle
dome.
about that one.
Yeah,
Right?
that's right.
I think they'll still. Anyway, that's next week. We'll talk
I'm
about that next
going to
week.
go with Carolina on the road on this one.
Carolina on the road. You mean Arizona?
Cardinals. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, Arizona's
Cardinals.
winning this.
I think Arizona wins this as well.
This is what's crazy. In the 4-game losing streak the Tennessee's had, 29 points per game is what they're averaging. They've let no passing touchdowns though.
You know, I've almost forgot
None.
Tennessee was a team this year. That's how
They've been
far.
off and on though.
But they have, but I kind of forgot.
How
They're
do
not.
you lose
They're
4
not
games,
bad
29
enough.
points a
They're not
game,
bad
and
enough for me to
throw
make
no
fun of them.
touchdown and not let no passing touchdowns.
They're kind of like the Jets and the
That don't make no
Bills. They're
sense.
not bad enough for me to make fun of them all the time, and they're not
Hey,
good
guys,
enough to be on
The
my
Bills
radar.
are bad
Hey,
enough to make
hey.
fun of all the time,
We're,
dude.
Well,
we're
that's the
focusing. We're
Falcons.
focusing. Video
Falcons are
gamer.
pretty fucking bad.
Saints at the Rams. Saints win this one. I think it's going to be a lot closer than we think it will be, but I think Saints win.
I think you think it's gonna be a lot closer.
They clinch a
That's really
playoff spot
great.
with a win. New Orleans does. They
And
get it.
I think New Orleans clinches a playoff spot. They're playing in a dome. The only time they don't play well is when they play on the road in an open air stadium.
You know that New Orleans leads the league with 43 sacks
Against or for?
against. Their defense has 43 sacks. Hey, how's that defensive coordinator they got working out over there, buddy?
All 3 of us say Saints win. Bengals
Yeah.
at Steelers Sunday night.
Bengals.
Bengals.
Bengals win because the Steelers are just hapless at
If-
this time of year.
The Bengals win, make the playoffs. It'll be the first time in 46 years
46, longer than all 3 of us
that they've
have been alive.
made the playoffs in 3 consecutive years.
I'm sure about that said.
All 3 of us have been alive.
For a fact.
Only about a year or two.
Wow. I'm taking Cincinnati on the
Yeah.
road.
Cincinnati.
on the road.
Monday Night Football, Ravens at the
An
Lions.
important game for both teams.
Lions.
Lions win.
Yep, I'm going Lions at home.
Yes.
Are you really?
Yeah, why not?
I
Baltimore
think he's trying to agree with
Matt
the other
Stafford,
2 of us.
Calvin Johnson,
Yeah.
Reggie Bush.
That didn't help much in Philadelphia now, did it, buddy?
Well, they're playing in 17 feet of snow.
And did that affect Philadelphia in any way?
They
You
play-
can't say it
they
affects-
Nick
play
Foles
in the
threw
snow. Lions
interception.
play in a dome.
Touche, my friend. Touche.
And this is in a dome. BT dome. And, well, let's think about, too, Flacco had a really good game against San Francisco in a dome.
Flaccid did have a very good game against them.
That
That's-
don't matter, yeah.
That's
He
it
had
for
Bolden. He had a really good wide receiver who happens to be on a very good team now.
That's it for our Week 15
Thanks for
preview.
that.
Be sure
Yes,
to
he
check
does.
back next
Him and
week
Des Bryant.
as we look
I
ahead to
wish.
Week
Only if they had a
16.
quarterback,
Shut
We're
up.
almost there to
Or
the end of the
defense.
season.
right? Or defensive coach.
Yeah.
For Bryce
That's
and
what it
Daniel,
sucks.
who
How
are
long did they
still
sign
talking, we'll
Hopefully
talk
not
to
very
you
long.
guys later.
You
Have
want?
a good week.
No, y'all can keep him.
Oh, we'll give them to you.